transaction, an unrepresented buyer through a transaction is never a good idea. Okay, I don't want to call it an 8-ball because I just remembered I think that refers to drugs, so please take that part out. Hi guys, thank you for joining me for another episode of Q in Anita. Today we're actually in Alexandria. We are at the cross street of King Street and Washington, and we're at Lily's Chocolate and Coffee. This is a really sweet neighborhood coffee shop that is super girly friendly. So if you want to have a little girls date, this is a great location. If you want to have any kind of date, actually, this is a great location. But I don't actually come here for the coffee. Even though the coffee's nice, it's good. I actually come for the mint lemonade because it's perfect blend of the freshness of mint and then the sweetness of the lemonade. I like it. It really reminds me of going to the Middle East when I was in Dubai. Perfect blend. That's the only other location where I love the blend the way I like it here. So if you guys enjoy that sort of flavor and those flavors mixed together, definitely stop by, but come early because later in the day it's kind of like busy and pretty packed. But be like me, I came early, so yeah, we can sit and chat. Okay, so today we are going to go over what the new NAR settlement means for home buyers, home sellers, and consumers overall. How is this going to change the market? There has been so much doomsday speech and so much doomsday activity surrounding the settlement. And I just had to make a video to let you guys know, please hold on to your hats, hold on to your bags. It's not that bad, okay? It's literally not that bad. But there are going to be market changes. And I'm here to help you understand what those changes mean for you, okay? So number one, let's start with homeowners. Homeowners, if you're looking to sell your home and you say, hey, all of my friends said that they had to pay 6% commission to their brokerage, and a portion of that had to go to the buyer's agent. Your friends were wrong. You do not have to pay a full 6%. It's always been an item for negotiation in the DMV region and most regions. It's not required. It wasn't required. So what that means for you is you negotiate with your listing agent. Okay, listing agent, tell me, what are you bringing to the table that I'm going to pay your commission? And in addition, what is an appropriate amount that I feel works for my budget and myself moving forward to provide to a buyer's agent if they are bringing me a qualified, willing, and able buyer? That is truly what that means for you as a seller. You are going to be negotiating more. And really, it's going to require your agent to be creative with you. But that is not saying that you are not going to pay agent commissions anymore. You are still going to pay agent commissions. That is something that is not going to die, but you are going to have more say-so in how much you put forth. Now, I'm going to say something that might be a hot take, but your agents before should have already been doing this. This is already what I've been doing. Most of my colleagues that I work with in the industry, in the DMV, we let sellers know ahead of time, hey, this is what we charge. This is what we suggest you provide to buyers, but what do you want to give? We've already been doing that. So if other agents haven't, that's their business. That's not my business. That's their business. So it is what it is. Now, if you are a home buyer, what that means for you is you more than likely are going to need to budget to pay your buyer's agent what their service fee is. Every buyer's agent, just like every other service person, is not created equal. So this means your buyer's agents need to present to you why they should be representing you. And you should be interviewing them just the same way that listing agents are being interviewed to represent sellers. You need to make sure that your agent understands what your needs are. You need to make sure your agent understands what your budget is, and your agent needs to be working for you and working in your best interest. If that's not the case, then that means that's not the agent for you. So the days of just saying, hey, this house is cute, I would like to go out and view, that is very much gone and dead. Now, full transparency, I was never that agent. I was never just going to go hang out with you just because you thought a house was cute. If you've worked with me, jump in the comments because you know how I get down. We are going to go through our qualification. We're going to figure out what works for you. We're going to figure out what's in your budget, what's not in your budget. And it is a very strategic showing plan that we go into. However, I do understand that some buyers agents, they do not work that way. But me, personally, that's never been the vibe. What changes as well for home buyers, you are going to have your representation form signed before entering a home. That means you have to have clarity on what are you going to be providing to your buyer's agent in form of commission. What are they going to be providing in form of service? And it's not going to be just it's not going to be like a verbal communication. It is going to be written in black and white. If you're in the DC area, it needs to be on a GCAR form. But here's the thing. You should already be having your GCAR forms completed before your showings. That is something that is been required of a large amount of associations, but now this is across all associations. Agents are going to be required to have those agency agreements signed before going out, before showing homes. If there's any discrepancies, then that needs to be discussed with the broker well ahead of time. I don't have a crystal ball to dictate what the future or guess what the future is going to be. But if I were a buyer, and I was starting out thinking I'm going to purchase a home by the end of this year, my thought process is prepare for about 1.5% of whatever your home value is going to be or whatever your budget is, and budget that. I do think that this is going to be detrimental for some buyers, and the reason why is home ownership right now it's not easy. I don't want to say it's hard. That's if you want to know why all the eye rolling is going on, I really don't want to say it's hard because it's attainable, but it's not easy already to purchase a home. You think about the fees that you have to come up with. So first you have, like, if you're doing an FHA loan, you have your 3.5% to put down. Then you have your closing costs of 3% if you're in the DMV area. So adding an additional 1%, 2%, it just only adds to the amount of financial burden for buyers. And I feel like the settlement was thoughtful for consumers in the sense that it allows for them to know and understand exactly what their representation means. But I also think for sometimes new home buyers who already are kind of looking to be budget friendly or be budget conscious because this is their first really big step into an investment like this, it's going to be an item that financial difference is going to make. It's going to be hard. So that's why I do feel a little bit that the thought process of what it means for first-time home buyers hasn't really been fully vetted. I do expect and I do hope that as an organization, as a community, we are able to find a way to offset some of the burden for first-time home buyers. And I know that myself, and a lot of the lenders that I work with, we are currently brainstorming well before we get to that July estimated date of when this goes into play. We're thinking through how can we make this attainable for our buyers? How can we help them still? Because it is an item that you don't want buyers to say, hey, I don't have the budget for an agent, so I'm going to go unrepresented, because an unrepresented buyer through a transaction is never a good idea. My 2 cents. And that's because there's so much that you don't know. And then when you're in the transaction, that is not the time to find out the ins and outs of title work. That is not the time to find out the ins and outs of contingencies and what they mean. And I'm not saying no buyers are going to be able to figure this out. People will be able to figure it out, but you don't want to make that mistake that's going to have tens and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars costing you. So I think for those buyers, I am concerned. And I think that you will see a new trend of agent kind of being built during this time. But I think that there's a lot to be done, and a lot to be said, and there's just so many possibilities. Can you tell I'm excited? I'm excited. Your girl's excited for the changes because people need to be honest, okay? Agents need to be honest. I've always said exactly what my commission is and exactly what you get working with me. You get a lot of personality for sure. Yeah, you get that. But you also get transparency. And this requires and holds agents their feet to the fire to be transparent across the board. So I think it's great, but I think it is going to be a time of change. So just hold on to your seats. But real estate is not dead. It's not done. Real estate, buying and selling of real estate in the United States has been going on since the creation of the nation. So it's an item that you will continue to see it move forward. It's just going to be a little bit different. So be ready for the changes.